What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today I thought I'd make a quick video on the oil sump extension kit that I just got for my S15. I think it's a pretty cool piece and it's a DIY. So I want to show you guys how I do it and hopefully help a couple of you guys through the process. The reason I want to do this is because my S15 has an RB26 engine, which is right here, and these things are known for oil starvation and oil issues, oil retention in the head, but also in the pan. So I have my oil pan here, which has already been modified, as you can see, but it's a pretty crappy design, and I'll go through it in a little bit. So I wanted to replace that with a kit from BoostDoc, who offer a nice DIY welding kit for these sumps. Looking at this sump, as you can see, it has been extended on both sides with sort of a rectangular shape, which should provide it, I think it's like 2 something liters of extra capacity, which is great. Well, that's what you want. But the baffling has been done in quite a questionable way. As you can see, they've added 2 plates, one here, one there, same on the other side, and that is it. That's all that's supposed to hold the oil from going into the sides during hard cornering. And while that might work during very dynamic steering inputs, it would not hold so well in constant sideways driving like on drifting. When I got this car, the engine was already blown. It had spun the cylinder 1 rod bearing, which usually is an indicator of a bad oiling system. So either oil pump or oil starvation, something like this, which now I strongly suspect this oil pan was the cause. So that's why I want to go ahead and redo this. And to do this, I got the BoostDoc welding kit right here. I'm going to unpack this and show it to you guys. This is a pretty simple yet very effective design with the famous trapdoors that I was talking about earlier. The little rubber flaps go on here and only allow the liquid to go one way. So that's exactly what I wanted for this car, and this kit being a DIY is quite affordable, and it comes just like this with, this is pre-bent, but the other pieces have to be bent. So these ones, you just angle them a little bit. You can see the sort of pattern here, and that one just goes on top, I believe. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now the usual process would be to draw where you have to cut on the original oil pan. The problem with this one is it's already modified, so I'm just gonna have to cut this first, and then I can proceed with drawing where this will be welded onto. All right, here's the sump. It is ready to go. I've gone ahead and cleaned up the edges nicely, removed the paint, and on this side I did cut a little bit too far, so I ended up welding just a couple, maybe like 1.5 centimeters back of the original sump. I would have liked it if this kit came with proper instructions and the positioning, so the dimensions, where to place this extension exactly. That would have made my life a little bit easier. I had to go off of pictures online, so that's why this wrong cut happened. But yeah, if you're a bit careful, it should be all right. I decided to cut the tray, or what's it called? The original baffling, I guess, that was here. My reasoning is that this plate will come roughly here. So this kind of takes care of all the baffling that is needed. I don't think that having a second plate on top is necessary. Now on the website, I couldn't tell if they leave it there or not. So yeah, I'll just go with this. Now I'm getting ready to weld the actual sump extension. So again, no instructions, so I don't know what order this is supposed to go in. But my guess is I'm going to weld these things in there first. So I've got all the baffling done. And then I'm going to start doing the sides. Once the sides are done, I can go ahead and put the top plate on and then finally weld it into the sump. So I thought I'd show you guys a little comparison of both designs, the old one and the new one. Let's start with the old one. I've already shown you those little plates, but here you can see them again. And while they actually don't look too bad from this side, you can actually see that they're only effective to about this height because the oil pan comes up here. So if there's any oil or if the oil level goes above this point, the oil would actually flow on the side and go through. So there's a design flaw. Same thing on this side. It's not as bad, but it's still the case. And this side's a bit better. But yeah, this plate's also a lot thinner. So overall, I don't like this design. I don't think it worked really well. Now, this design is obviously a lot better. And you can see here with the pickup right in the middle where everything is closed off, and these little trapdoors would prevent the flow to go back out, but they do let everything in. So there is this, and there is also little holes at the bottom here where oil can gently flow from one side to the other. So yeah, nothing's getting trapped anywhere except right in the center. And then once we add the top plate on top, as you can see here, we've got the pickup still, and this is sort of an inlet from the rest of the pan. And we do have another set of inlets on this side. And that's where I kind of messed up on the cut of the actual oil pan, because my cut made these holes be actually outside of the pan. Obviously not something you want. Another point worth noting is that I'm MIG welding this kit, whereas I feel like most people would try and TIG weld this. The problem with MIG welding is that you are creating a bunch of little splashes and bubbles here and there, which will stick to the metal partially. So it does stick at first and it might come loose with vibrations. Obviously in an oil pan, you want it to be as clean as possible, and something like this could really damage your engine. So I didn't think of this ahead of time, and I just noticed now. So I already had a pass and tried cleaning up most of the bubbles, but as you can see, I mean, I just picked one up right now. There are a ton of them. So just keep that in mind. It is okay to do MIG welding. Just make sure you clean this thing thoroughly before welding the top plate on there. All right, time to get back to welding. All right, here it is all welded up. I got some really good penetration on the welds, as you can hopefully tell there, all the way through, and nice and tight. Now I'm going over everything again, making sure it's fully clean. There's no metal left, no projections stuck to the walls. There's a little bit here, but again, that's what I'm going to do now, because this is the last time that I can actually see inside of this assembly. As soon as I'm done with this, the lid comes on and it never comes off again. So this is it. This is my last chance to clean everything thoroughly. Over here, I've added the drain plug. This is quite standard. It just protrudes over here. So yeah, now give it a clean and weld the top. I've just finished cleaning up the box. It is all ready to go. Now this fits onto here, somewhat like that, kind of. And now I'm gonna go around and weld it on all sides. So I'm all done welding, and it came out pretty good. I did small sections at a time so I don't overheat the panels and it doesn't twist or warp. I hope it stayed fine. It should. So here's what it looks like. And from the inside I can access my little baffles here. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to clean it up for one last time and then apply some high temperature black paint so it all looks black and nice. All right, let's finish this up. There it is, finally, the BoostDoc oil sump extension kit fully installed and welded up, painted, and ready to go. Let's check it out from the other side. Here we go, nice and clean. So again, this is why I decided to cut my original baffling, because we have this plate right there. I'm not sure if this is the way it's supposed to be or not, but yeah, it shouldn't make a big difference anyways. So I still have to go in and install my little trapdoors. That also should be pretty easy. And then we're good to go and install it on the engine.